special report from FHAsnow.com. I'm your host, Matt Williams, and today I'm going to take you through a very brief PowerPoint presentation that highlights some of the most important factors of FHA financing and how it can apply to you, because a lot of homeowners don't understand the import of FHA and the changes that have just passed through Congress, as well as some of the benefits of FHA. I've had clients come to me that say, well, I've heard that FHA is not a good thing. It's not something that I should look for. It's not something I should try. And that's very dependent on your situation, but a lot of the restrictions that were previously on FHA are gone. And for tax year 2008, there's a great benefit to it. So let's go through a couple of those benefits now.
Why FHA is here to stay. Let's look at a number of the important benefits to FHA loans, some of which have always been there, and some of which are new, but all of which apply to homeowners in America currently. So first and foremost, let's touch on some of the advantages. Your credit score is going to have very little importance when you qualify for an FHA loan. Now, when you're qualifying for any conventional loan, as all homeowners are aware, and most qualifying for a home loan have already been rudely awakened to or pleasantly surprised by, credit scores are very important. In FHA financing, credit scores do not hold the same importance. So you can qualify if you have lower credit, if you have things that need to be repaired. You're not completely out of options. And you still have a variety of different things that you can work with as long as it's a make-sense deal. Now beyond that, if you're 2 years out of a bankruptcy, you're good to go with fairly clean credit. So you don't have the same limitations of 4 years that you typically have with conventional financing. Beyond that, 2 years from a foreclosure, you can even get an FHA loan, assuming that your bills are paid on time and that you have a fairly clean history of credit since the foreclosure. So as long as you're taking care of business now, then past transgressions do not hold the same weight that they do ordinarily. And that's huge, because a lot of folks are in rough loans that they can't get out of. And they can't get out of the loans because now their credit is worse, sometimes even because of the loan, if it wasn't explained properly or they were conned into something, which is very common. So it can be a cart and horse situation for a lot of folks, and this gives you a leg to stand on. Another huge advantage is when you're purchasing a new property, you can finance up to 97%. You can actually finance slightly over 97%, depending on the housing area that you're in and the pricing of the county that you're in. But 97 is very good. It means you put 3% down instead of 10 or 20% down, and you can still get very aggressive pricing. And that is a huge benefit that has been overlooked in the past, because there are so many different options out there in terms of option ARM loans, for example, and a variety of other things that are appropriate in some circumstances, but certainly not all. Now, these are coming back as a valuable way to purchase a home. So if you're looking to buy something and you don't have a big down payment, which is very common, most of my clients have between 3 and 10% to put down. And FHA is a wonderful option for many of them. Now, some of the biggest things that are rolling down the pipe are things that have changed. The FHA repair requirements for a home to be maintained to standard in order to refinance used to be pretty substantial. Now, they've toned those down substantially because they want to get people into homes and they want to get the FHA up and running again and not have it be this back burner item that no one really uses in terms of the lending side. So if you have a property that has some repairs, you can still qualify for an FHA loan. Keep that in mind. If that stopped you before, there's a good chance it will not stop you now. The temporary housing limits have been raised across the country for the year of 2008. This is huge. This was an emergency bill that was passed through Congress and through the Senate, was signed by the President, and was enacted into law in March. It only is for this year. Keep that in mind. It doesn't matter if you got your loan prior to this year, but it is only in effect for refinances in the year or purchases in the year of 2008. So if you have a loan that you're trying to get out of, make sure that you don't waver too long, because once this is gone and it has a sunset clause at the end of the year, it's not coming back, more than likely. Now, really a safe haven has been FHA, and is going to be FHA in the months to come, and probably even the years to come, because the market right now is so volatile with the subprime fallout, mortgage companies closing, large investment firms going under or being bought for pennies on the dollar. All these things are the reason that whenever you turn into the evening news, you see the market going up and down in these wide gyrations of sometimes 150, 200-point swings. FHA is a stable boat in a very, very fluctuating sea, if you will, and is something to be considered if you're looking for a safe haven and you're not trying to beat the market, which right now a lot of folks are not doing. One of the other benefits that is often forgot is the fact that you can streamline from one FHA loan into another very simply and easily. Sometimes with no appraisal, sometimes no qualification of financials. We're talking as vanilla as you can go. So if you have an FHA loan and then you decide to streamline into another FHA loan down the road, you can do it effortlessly. Not completely effortlessly, but with very, very little on your part, you can accomplish quite a bit. So it takes a lot of the stress and a lot of the time out of refinancing. So these are all critical elements in refinancing your property.
I hope you found that information to be valuable and to be timely, and hopefully it will help you in your purchase, refinance, or any other transactions involving real estate that you have that are currently open in terms of yourself or a loved one. Have yourself a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.